Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you. And it's a Friday evening. It's a wonderful evening. But how do I say evening? It's a morning also. It's afternoon also. Because we all are in different time zones, in the different continents, in the different countries, in the different health condition, in different wellness condition, in different emotional condition. And depending on our emotions, we are taking decisions. And when you take right decision, when you are strong with your emotions, you build your confidence from within. And when you build your confidence from within, you communicate very well with the world. And what is communication? Is connecting with the world. So all this I have assembled while talking to all of you. So today we have got two of the distinguished guests, and every Friday we all know it's reinstating the Women Rights webinar series. And today on Friday, 25th of February, 2022, we extend a very warm welcome to Madam Suganya Asukan, the women entrepreneur, founder and CEO, Sun Lotus Spa, and Madam Purnima Sunkara, educator, speaker, entrepreneur, eco-conversation activist. This program is brought to you by Colonel Casey Menon. He is the instrumental force behind this entire effort every Friday evening. Let me just roll the slides quickly. International Chamber for Service Industry extends a very warm welcome. We are for services sector. 25th of March, we all saw the new order, the tall order in the world, and that is complete lockdown. And our chamber decided, let's move on making education relevant. And that's the way we have gone by. So ladies and gentlemen, here is Colonel Casey Menon. During this entire series till date, he had been bringing lots of valuable inputs, and very especially every Friday, he brings a very, very special program for all of us. During pandemic, we are focusing on teachers and we are focusing on youth. And I wish to recall, how are we focusing on teachers and youth? We set up in 1994, when Chamber came into existence, India's first finishing school for service industry. And this particular finishing school focuses on personality, your communication skills, your curiosity, your creativity, and besides that, your critical thinking, logical thinking, analytical thinking, positive thinking, and continuous lifelong learning. But the best and the unique part is music, dance, humor, fun, happiness, passion, stimulation, storytelling. They all are the integral part of this finishing school. And now, during pandemic, it has gone totally digital. 52,000 youth and 35,000 teachers, they have gone through the process. And when we have gone totally digital, we strongly believe education, skills, and outcome of these two is very important, which we have to take into consideration. Immediately after, declaration of the pandemic, we were quite surprised that 25th of March 2020, the pandemic was given to all of us. And immediately thereafter, in month of July, on 29th of July, the Honorable Prime Minister of India gave the clearance, and India got the new education policy after 34 years. And this new education policy, completely the game changer. You would say, how it's a game changer? Once it gets implemented in totality, you will understand, because there is a more emphasis on skills than to be on a theoretical curriculums, what we talk about. This new education policy is a new era. It's a new beginning. It's a new world. Ek nai subha. So let's move with the new education policy. And when we say there is a more emphasis on skills, we all got to understand there are 37 sector skill councils under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And I wish to share with all of you, don't forget to join us on coming Monday. Today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, enjoy yourself. Monday, when you come to us, 8 p.m. at the same time in the evening, 28th of February, you will have 101 most important skills to be successful in any walk of life that we are going to share with you. Don't forget, Monday evening, 8 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, you require wellness. So whatever your human mind, it can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education and skill relevant. And when we talk about that you need mental wellness, it's very important. All of us, we should realize that during this pandemic, it is the health sector and it is the education sector. Both have suffered a lot. And when we look into it, the mental health for students, for teachers, for parents, post-pandemic is very important. Don't forget, we are going to have 7 hours non-stop global confluence of the wisdom on mental happiness, mental wellness on 4th of March from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we would just give you one mantra. You got to be happy all the times, in all situations, because everything is not within our control. This is your YouTube channel. This program is going live on GS Motivator. Wherever you are world over, share it, like it, subscribe it, comment, post your views. Don't hide yourself. Come in open, come in front. Today is 1464th webinar. And while reinstating the women's rights, we would be having 2 wonderful ladies who would be sharing with us what is emotional intelligence. How do we make decisions? How do we build our confidence? And the most important is, if you can feel me, if you get connected with me, that's possible only when I'm conveying communication to connecting. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, join me in extending a very warm welcome to both the ladies, all the way from Vanakkam, Vanakkam, Vanakkam. That is Chennai. That's a beautiful state, Tamil Nadu. We always enjoy. And today I'm sharing one very important secret, because you both are like a daughter to me, and I can share with both of you. There is one place in Tamil Nadu called Kurtiyalam. I travel all the places in Tamil Nadu. I have gone to all the temples. Everywhere I have enjoyed. We have gone up to Kanyakumari. There is one place, I may not be pronouncing it correctly, but Kurtiyalam, whatever you want to call it, there is a waterfall from the top. And you stand, Kurtiyalam.
Kutralam in Madurai.
Yes. So you stand down below. There is a mineral water coming from top. And if you stand there for 10 minutes, you feel you are 20 years old only. So at the age of 72, when I'm feeling that Kurtiyalam, I'm feeling I'm 20 years and I'm just finishing my college. So ladies and gentlemen, we extend a very warm welcome. Let's travel mentally, psychologically, and after some time when the situation improves, physically also, and we all will travel to down south with Colonel Casey Menon. He'll provide us the tickets and he'll provide us the boarding and lodging, and we will enjoy ourselves while traveling over there. So let's feel today with Suganya, Asukan ma'am, and Purnima ma'am. Suganya ma'am, what is emotions and what is emotional intelligence, and how do we take correct decisions? How do we build our confidence? And then I'll come to Purnima ma'am on the communication part of it. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let's travel with them.
Thank you, Major Dr. Gulshan Sharmaji. It's such an honor to be in the presence of you and my co-presenter, Ms. Purnima Shankara. You're most welcome to Chennai. I'm ready to host all of you here. So please come soon. Before I begin my presentation and get into my topic of emotional intelligence, I would want to give a little brief introduction about myself. Okay, so I am Suganya Ashokan, and I live in Chennai. I am a mother of 2 children. I'm a woman entrepreneur and a freelance trainer. And I have humongous respect for teachers and educators. In fact, my childhood dream was to build a school. Okay, so I also want to share about my favorite teacher, okay, because all of us here, 86 of us watching right now are, most of us are teachers and educators. So I want to share about my favorite teacher today. Okay, so I studied in a school called Adarsh Vidyalaya. It's part of Punjab Association here in Chennai. And this is in the year 1992 to 1994, okay. So I did my primary schooling in a different school and I got transferred to this school. I was a newbie in the school. Like every other child in this, like most of the children in school going children, I didn't like mathematics at all. I didn't understand cos theta, sin theta, tan theta, and so I couldn't understand, the 6th grade, 7th grade mathematics in a new school surrounded by new friends. So most of the time, I used to be very good in the other subjects, but I used to miss getting a rank because of mathematics. I ignored the subject because I didn't understand it anyway. There were times I even got, very, very less marks in maths during my 6th grade and 7th grade. But then every year in Adarsh Vidyalaya in my school, they shuffle the classes. So we get to sit with new set of friends and new set of teachers also come, okay. So this year, 8th grade, it was in the year 1994. Adarsh Vidyalaya is a renowned school in Chennai. So our classes are pretty cramped. We are about 47 to 49 children in one class. I usually sit in the back. I was a tall child, so I sit in the back row. So Sampath Kumari ma'am, my favorite teacher, she, I didn't know she was my favorite teacher back then when she entered the classroom. So she enters the classroom and quietly, there is no, usually when a teacher enters the classroom, we say this, good morning, ma'am, all of that. And she enters the classroom quietly and then writes the problem of the day on the blackboard. Contrary to most of the teachers, she only takes 1 or 2 problems in a day. Okay, after she writes in the board, she walks around the classroom around each desk. Like, what does children do in a boring lecture? If you're a teacher in a boring lecture, what does children do? They sit in the back row and they pretend as if they're scribbling, writing, but they're actually scribbling, right? So I did the same thing. I was in the back row. I was pretending to write, but I was actually scribbling and I didn't, note down anything on the board. Sampath Kumari ma'am walked down to me, to my desk, and she gently asked, "What happened, dear? Why aren't you writing anything on your notebook?" I was, my legs were shivering, my hands were sweaty. I know the teacher caught me red-handed. So what I did was I just lied to her. I said, "Ma'am, I'm not able to see the board from here, from the back bench, and that's why I'm not able to write anything." So ma'am said, "So why don't you move on to the first bench?" And she found me a bench right under her nose, actually, in the first bench. So every day I sit there in the first bench and I started writing down whatever was copied in the board, I copied in my notebook. We had this 1-minute conversation, okay? She didn't pay particular attention to me, but she used to gently come around. She used to look like Lata Mangeshkar ji, okay? Wrinkled skin. She was as tall as me only during those days. She used to always wear a cotton saree. Very calm voice, okay? She used to put her, always pat on the back of the students and say, "You know what, Suganya, you should try writing the numbers clearly, one below the other. That way you try to understand the numbers." That's it. That's 30-second conversation. And then she goes off. Then again, the next day in one more conversation, she'll say, I see you're very good with multiplication. I think you don't understand cross multiplication technique. It's very simple. You will learn it and then you'll walk away. Time rolled, and before I know, it was half yearly exam, and I was the top performer in my class. Can you imagine? I started liking math. I was a top, and I finally got to get the rank in my report card. You know, it was life changing for me. It was really life changing for me because uh, I didn't like math. I was this failure student who was not able to get a rank, and suddenly this teacher encouraged me in a very gentle way, even not even paying right kind of attention. But then I got so motivated and I got so inspired by her ways and mathematics. In fact, in 10th standard, a lot of my friends used to take mathematics tuition to score high marks. But I never went for math tuition because I know I can handle math. I got that confidence because of my teacher. Do any of you have such teachers in your life? Do you have a special person, a special teacher in you who encouraged you in a special way, or maybe who touched upon your lives in a special way that changed your lives for good forever? Do you have such a teacher that you remember of? So, a teacher has such powerful ways of bringing, shining uncut diamond into a diamond. Sampath Kumar, the sad part is actually Sampath Kumari ma'am is an unsung hero. She doesn't know that I respect her so much, and she changed my life for the betterment in such wonderful way. She's a miracle in my life, but she doesn't know that. And we are all teachers and educators here, and we are all that miracle in someone's life. I'm sure some of your students are talking about you right now at their home about you, and they are inspired by you. They want to be like you. Maybe they want to get close to you. Maybe they want to, be the teacher's pet of you. But we never know, and we get such great opportunities to, shape lives just by being a teacher, and that's, I think, the greatest profession on earth. Having said that, I think Sampath Kumari ma'am is an emotionally intelligent teacher. Okay, though I didn't know the term back then, she was always kind. She was always calm, and she knew what I wanted. I never knew I could like math. I went on to become an engineer. I went on to become I did my MBA with finance as my majors. I didn't know I could like math until Sampath Kumari ma'am came into my life. She's always calm. She can read people's mind, and she can give what they want effortlessly. And that changed many people's lives just like me. So about emotional intelligence and what emotional intelligence could be, let me present my screen. So emotional intelligence refers to the ability to perceive, control, and regulate one's emotion. Okay, emotion is a basic fundamental part of everybody's life. So being emotionally intelligent means you're able to perceive your emotion, control your emotion, and regulate your emotion to your needs. And that's being emotional intelligent. Maya Angelou once said that people will forget how you made them, what you told to them, and people will forget what you did to them too. But people will never forget how you made them feel. This is so true. You will never forget how one person made you feel. If somebody could have made you feel more welcome and friendly, you will never forget that. If somebody insulted you, you will never forget that. It is how you feel that stays in your mind and goes into your subconscious mind, right? So emotional intelligence have 5 basic pillars. Okay, that is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, social skills, and empathy. I'll touch upon a little bit, brush upon a little bit about all the 5 pillars. Self-awareness. So why should I be aware of myself? Why don't I just speak and sleep just like any other species? I'll give you an example. Sometimes we think we might feel sad. I think I'm sad for something, but it is not the right labeling. We might actually be guilty for something, for not doing a certain task in a certain way. It is the guilt feeling, but then we label it as sadness. And then that registers, our mind registers what we think it is. So it registers as sadness. And every time we feel guilt, we think it's sadness and we just cry. We don't take any action on it, and we don't rectify it. We just feel sad because We haven't labeled it properly. And other example that I could give is anger. Okay, so sometimes we will have we'll be angry on our husband, but we will be showing that anger on our children. Sometimes we'll be angry on our bosses, and we'll be showing it on our subordinates, on our teammates, right? Sometimes we'll be angry and we will even be showing it on the TV remote or the vessels. But that is called displacement of anger. Okay, so we should be aware of where the emotion has been originated from. We should label it properly, and we should be able to identify that the cause of the emotion. This is a heightened sense of awareness of all our emotions. Okay. Once we are aware of our emotions, it's easy to regulate it. You just sit back and then just watch, the emotions free through, come and go, and then we'll be able to decide what to do with that emotion. Emotion is not something which is not useful. Emotion is very, very useful in our life, right? Only when we feel fear about something, our survival skills will be heightened. We will be able to survive a problem. Major sir will know it, colonel sir will know it. Only when there is the fear of a threat of an enemy attack that we prepare a defense system, right? So similar to that, fear is an emotion, and that emotion is making us survive as a species so long. So we should never underestimate our emotions. Some people will say that you're emotionally exaggerated. No, you're just emotionally aware, but you should be able to also label your emotions properly and regulate your emotions properly. Then comes empathy. Empathy is understanding others' emotion. Now, how do you understand others' emotion? It's not at all easy. It's not even easy to understand your own emotions. So it's very difficult to understand others' emotion, but it's possible. You have to be able to listen and observe and just be in the present, be mindful of your environment, and then you will easily understand the environment and read the room. So when you are empathetical, it is very, very easy to build relationship with people around you. And that is the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. So it is called 5 pillars. It can be categorized into 2 competencies. One is a personal competency, which is self-awareness and self-management. The other one is a social competency, social awareness and relationship management. Now, I want you to think about, give me a moment. So I want you to think about your great teaching moments, okay? In your experience as a teacher, you would have had some great moments, right? You would have felt proud about some moments, some great teaching moments that you had. And I want you to, think about that, visualize it for a minute. And in that mental picture, tell me, in that great teaching moment of yours, did you smile? Well, was your heart a little bit more raised? Did you have a raised heartbeat? Did you smile? Did you have a particular emotion that you associate that great moment with? And did you see another person in that mental picture? Most of our sweet moments or great moments in life, let alone teaching moments, whatever sweet memories we have are associated with emotions. We will feel happy, we'll feel sad, we'll feel proud, we will feel great, and all of that are our memories, are our experiences, and it is all emotions. And it is all related to people, right? So knowing about emotional intelligence is very important to you because those create your memories and those create your relationships. So, again, how can emotional intelligence impact teachers? So as a teacher, you'll be wearing many hats, right? Even within the classroom, you're wearing many hats because a child will come up with a personal problem maybe, or they want counseling or career counseling, or they have an academic problem. Whatever is the problem, it is you who have to handle that because you have a responsibility as a teacher. And not only inside the classroom, even outside the classroom, you wear many hats. Like you are a mom, you are You are a daughter, you are a wife, you are a responsible citizen, you are an active environmental activist like our co-presenter. You wear many hats, and you have to do justice to many hats. And these responsibilities might stress you. When you are aware of your emotions and you're able to regulate it, you will feel calm. And when you are calm, you feel de-stressed. And how EI can impact an individual and a teacher is your stress level will come down. Guaranteed, it will come down when you are aware of your emotions, when you know the source of your emotions, and when you know that you can regulate it. Can you tell me who gets promoted? Imagine you are an assistant professor in a college, in a university, okay? Who gets promoted to a professor? Or if you are a professor already, who gets promoted to be a principal? Any ideas? So principal don't teach in a classroom, but they should be very good with people skills. They have to be very good with managing people and getting things done for people. When you are an emotionally intelligent individual in a university, when you are equipping and upskilling yourself with emotional intelligence, you'll be good with people. And you'll be a calm and composed and a trusted person, and that will get you your promotion. So the impact of emotional intelligence in your life will be huge. It is going to de-stress you. It is going to get you promoted, and you can be an impactful teacher, right? Because an emotionally invested student will be open-minded. They can actually receive things from you in an uninhibited way. They know that you are their person, so there will be no resistance. So you can be an impactful teacher, and you can form a youth mind. You know, being an emotional intelligent teacher, calm, composed teacher, you don't have to just fill the minds of the students. You can actually form their minds. You can seed their minds with your opinions, your advices, and your career guidance, and all of that can happen with emotional intelligence. Now, how do I do all of that? I'm going to give you just one example. Self-awareness. How do you heighten your awareness? When you have to heighten your awareness, it simply means that you have to use your senses. Your sight has to be a little bit more, aware of your surroundings. So right now you're watching this webinar, but if you take off the eyes from the screen for a minute, what do you see other than that? You'll be hearing to what I'm talking right now. But what are the other sounds that you can actually hear in your room? Maybe there's a fan that's just running, or maybe there are kids in your house. Maybe there is something else that you can hear. You should always be aware of your senses and how you can take inputs from your senses. That's how your awareness will heighten. I want you to try something along with me. All of you who are here right now with me, can you please breathe? Okay, keep your right arm on your chest and then start breathing. Okay, keep breathing and tell me where you can feel your air, where you can feel your breath. Okay. For some people, it will be on the upper lobe of your lungs. For some people, you will have deep breaths, and you will feel your air in the lower lobes of your lungs. For some people, it will go all the way down to the abdomen, but you will be able to feel the air that goes inside your chest, right? Thank you so much. This feeling of air that gets into your lungs is amazing. That's what keeps you alive, right? The lung is one awesome, amazing organ in our body because, in fact, the whole human body is like work of an art. It's so finely engineered. The lungs and the air that you breathe in is able to get diffused into your blood, and it nourishes your whole body. You know, right now you're nourishing your whole body with that oxygen and with that air. Don't you think that's wonderful? Don't you think that's just marvelous that you're able to do that? And don't you think you should thank that wonderful piece of organ right there, your lungs? Gratitude, I think, is one major component. It is an interstate. They call it as an interstate for emotional intelligence, but I think that's one huge shift we can have when we know that we are paying respect to ourselves and we are paying gratitude to ourselves. It's a huge shift in your mindset that can happen. In fact, in our religion, in all of our religions, what they teach us is when you pray, you thank the God first, you thank the Almighty first, right? That's how we pray. In fact, all of our religions have embedded emotional intelligence right from the beginning. We are just not aware of it. So we have to be able to thank our own body. Just say thank you, my dear lungs, for being so good with me. You're able to nourish me and keep me alive. Thank you for the air that we are breathing. That gratitude will fill us with abundance. It will fill us with happiness, and it will fill us with love. And the greatest love story you can have is with yourself. You can start a lifelong romance with yourself when you are able to appreciate for all that is given to you and for all that is there in you. With that, we know how emotional intelligence is going to be useful for us as individuals and us as teachers, right? Then we move on about how we can transfer this impact to the students. Now we know that emotional intelligence has been very impactful to us. It can improve our lives and improve our happiness, improve the way we see the world, de-stress us. How do you impact the students? In fact, students who are typically teenagers from say 14, 15 to 20, 21, they are in dire need of help. They are not shouting it out loud, but they need help. According to a recent survey, especially children, young women report a higher percentage of anxiety than to their men counterparts. Okay, 27% women children in an average classroom, feel anxious. 15% feel depressed. Can you imagine that? That's an increase. That's a huge increase from the previous year's statistics. 15% feel depressed, and 43%, like almost 50% of the class, feel pessimistic about their future, and they want your guidance. They want this, they are in dire need of this, but they don't ask for it. So how you can impact these students is like this. Just when you are emotionally aware, when you are emotionally calm and composed, and then you can regulate yourself and be kind like Sampath Kumari ma'am, the students will mirror you. Our whole body consists of neurons and neurotransmitters, and there is something called a mirror neuron. Okay, have you ever been to a conference room where you've been anxious, or let's take a marriage hall? Okay, you didn't have a good day, you had a moody day, a gloomy day, and then you are entering into a marriage hall, marriage ceremony. And suddenly you feel the vibes, you feel the mood of the room, and you started becoming happy, you start becoming energetic and enthusiastic. Have you felt that ever? It happens because we mirror our environment. We mirror the energies of our environment, because we are a herd. Yeah, we are community, like human species are supposed to be herds. And we like to mirror people. We are, the evolution says we like to mirror people. And when the teacher is calm and composed, the teacher gains the trust of the student, and the student will try to mirror the teacher. The student becomes calm by not doing anything at all, just by looking at the teacher and observing the teacher. They become calm, but they also start trusting the teacher, and then they can open up to the teacher for the help that they want. 90% of the teenagers are looking for help from some adult. Could be parent, could be teacher. These are the two first adults they trust, and then we are responsible for their guidance, right? They want to do many things, like even in upskilling, they want to learn artificial intelligence, they want to learn digital printing, they want to learn a lot of things, but then they also want the guidance of an adult to know which one is suitable for them, which one is applicable for them, which one is readily available, which one is marketable, which one will get them a job. Even that counseling requires an emotionally intelligent person, and reading the cue of the student. So for the Obama's picture, when you have watched any stand-up comedy show, for example, Kapil Sharma's Laugh show, immediately after the comedy, they have a cue laughter. Have you heard that? A cue laughter. You know, some audio you will hear about people laughing, and then you'll mirror that. You'll start laughing also. So that's how mirror neurons work, and that's exactly how you can impact your students. Moving on to decision making. I am assuming out of about the 280, 300 people who are live right now, most of you are married. Some of you are not married. May I know? Just think for a moment and try to answer it. I'm not able to see the chat box, but try to answer it. May I know how you took that decision about whom to marry? What were the statistics that went behind this decision? How did you even know that this is the right person, this is going to be my life partner? How did you arrive at that decision, right? I'm sure most of you don't have the answer, and the rest of you know it is like the gut feeling. I just know she's the right person. I just know he's the right person. And that's exactly what we're doing with emotional intelligence. You don't know how many times in a day you take a decision based on your emotions. And such life-changing, important decisions like choosing your life partner, choosing a career, choosing many things that suits you and life-changing, all of which comes from your emotional decision or gut feeling. So when I typically go into a leadership workshop, when there is a decision making that has to happen, it's all about the mindset. Major Sir will know it, Colonel Sir will know it, all the Army friends will know it. Decision making is very crucial in life-threatening situations, in problem-solving situations. So there are several kinds of decision making. I'm not able to list down everything, but I've just listed down a few. These are thinking styles actually. Concrete thinking, divergent thinking, analytical thinking, sequential thinking, holistic thinking, convergent thinking, creative thinking, critical thinking, lateral thinking, and so on. I'll give you a couple of examples and move on to the gut feeling, okay? Lateral thinking, so I'll ask you a question. This is something that was invented during the ancient times. And it is still being used in some parts of the world, okay? And this is used to see through the walls. When you use this technology, when you use this, you'll be able to see through the wall. Do you have an answer? What could that be? I'm trying to get the chat window. Just a second. Okay, what could that be? The answer is windows. How many of you got the right answer? That is a simple answer, okay? It's a very, very simple answer, but that's out of the box thinking. I told you it's from ancient times. Our minds are so conditioned, it will go on thinking about whether it is a special ray, it's a scanning device or something, but then the answer is window. That's lateral thinking. That's an example of lateral thinking. So I have to talk about divergent thinking. So these are the exercises we normally conduct for decision making. How about divergent thinking? You take one typical item from your room right now, maybe your shoes, your old shoes, or maybe the fork or spoon that you eat, and then you think about several ways that this fork can be used, okay? If I give you 20 seconds, what do you think will be the number of usage that you can come with for a fork? Just shoot a number, okay? A fork can have about 300 types of uses. Okay, if somebody is given, somebody who's very good with divergent thinking, if we are given him a task and 10 minutes time, he will come up with 300 different things to use with a fork. It could be used as a digger, it could be used as a hair clip, it could be used for eating, it could be used for several things. It could be even used as a magnet. So such things are called divergent thinking. Now, these are typical leadership style thinkings, but do you think we apply all of this thinking in our daily decision making? Not at all. We don't use decision making styles in our everyday decisions. What we use is our emotional decision. What we use is our gut feeling. are intuitive decisions. You watch, you see a person and you get the first impression in the first 30 seconds. That's your emotional decision, because it is based on a set of experiences that is stored in our subconscious mind. Intuitive thinking and decision making is part of our experiences that is registered in our subconscious mind, and it is fail safe. Most 80% of the time, it's true. And emotions are part of the continual cognitive feedback loop and appraisal process. I want to quote it again. It's a cognitive feedback loop. Emotions are a cognitive feedback loop. So emotions and cognitive thinking are hand in hand. It's just the feedback of your cognitive world. Okay. So emotional hygiene, when you are aware of your emotions, when you know this is the origin of my emotions, what happens is the noise settles down and your emotions become more clearer. And hence your intuitive decision becomes more clearer, because your database of subconscious mind and the emotions that it is associated with becomes more clearer. So the science behind this is the brain, and most of the inputs goes from our eyes, our ears, and our nose, and all of the senses, and it goes through the spine from the bottom part of the brain. Okay, and it first reaches the reptilian brain, the limbic brain, and then goes to the neocortex. Neocortex is the mammalian brain. It's the very recently developed brain, but the base of the brain is the emotions brain. The base of the brain is the reptilian brain, and the base, like however strong the root is, so strong can be the stem or the tree, right? So however strong your emotional brain is, your decision making is so much stronger, because the typical psychological pattern of decision making is you make the decision first, and then your logical mind will collect information to support that decision. That's how it rolls in the psychological world. So that is why emotional intelligence is super duper important. It's extremely important. Okay. So emotional intelligence and decision making go hand in hand because of your intuitive decision making and feelings. Then comes the last segment of our topic today, is confidence building. Emotional intelligence and confidence. I will talk about confidence separately and then link it to emotional intelligence. Okay. We're all teachers or parents, or most of us are somebody who has taken care of a child already. Now tell me, how do you make a child confident? Your child or your student, how do you make them confident? What are the ways? What is the first thing that you think of? Like I told you in the introduction, I have 2 children. One of my my son is only 5 years old, and he scribbles all over the wall. Okay, if I just pan my room, you will see scribbles all over the wall. And every time he scribbles on the wall, I don't scold him. I appreciate him. I say, "Wow, Aditya, this is so cool. You've drawn a dinosaur. Oh, this is so cool. Look at the smile that you've given to that doll." And I keep appreciating his drawing, and literally he can draw anything. I just ask him to draw, I just give a name, a scenery, a boat, a ship, a dinosaur, anything he will draw. He's willing to try. He's willing to explore his skills because I'm appreciating him and I'm encouraging him to draw more, right? That kind of so that's one way we appreciate and encourage our children and hence build their confidence. What are the other ways we make them confident? So when I see a drawing like this, I normally in schools they give this badges. When you go and attend a seminar, or when you go for a oratorical competition or something, what do? How do you think you can attend your next seminar or your next lecture in a more confident way? It's the feedback your first seminar has given, right? The first lecture, they give you a badge, they give you an award, a certificate, and then you think, oh wow, I'm so good at this, I can have a certificate out of my speech. And that's how you take that into your next speech, and then you slowly build one upon the other. That's recognition. That's what appreciation and recognition can do to you. And also, just not self-appreciation, it has to be complemented with practice, okay? Practice, 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 and that makes you more confident and perfect. So the confidence actually is a feeling. Confidence comes from the feeling of well-being, acceptance of your body and mind, believe in your own abilities, skills, and experiences, and physical practice. So I told you, so our whole conversation is based on how you will make another child more confident, right? Your own child or your own student in your classroom. This is based upon how you will make that child more confident, how you will make that kid more confident. But do you realize that you have a subconscious mind of your own? And this subconscious mind is your child. There is a different mind inside your own mind, and that is your child. And that child is always seeking for appreciation, seeking for acknowledgement, seeking for comfort, emotional comfort, right? In psychological world, they always say a child, what is the foremost need of a child? A child can even be hungry for a long time, but when the mother is near, when he feels emotionally safe, when the child feels emotionally safe, he can actually think he can even bring down the world because he's with his mother. He's safe, emotionally safe, right? Your subconscious mind is a child, and your subconscious mind has to think she's safe, he's safe. For all the women out there, for all the young women, teenagers, children out there, you should know that you should give an emotionally safe environment for your subconscious mind. You should appreciate your mind. You should appreciate your beauty. You should appreciate your intelligence. You should appreciate your work. And that will give you a feedback loop and then just register that you are good enough to face the world. And then your conscious mind will pick up I talked to you about mirror neurons, you remember? So your conscious mind will mirror your subconscious. It will pick up your cues from there, and then the world will pick up the mirror image from your confident conscious self, and then everybody will perceive you to be confident. So it starts with you and then spreads outwards. There is also another way. You can start with an outer person like your mother or the teacher, and then it can also trickle down that way. It's like a closed loop. But the safest way to feel emotionally safe is to self-appreciate yourself. So we are all a neurochemical, we are all highly dosed with neurochemical transmitters all over our body, and that's the base of our emotions. Serotonin has been labeled the confidence neurochemical. Higher serotonin activity is related to greater feelings of confidence, which in turn gives you the drive to do the things that build your self-esteem. The things that build your self-esteem is really, really important. And serotonin is secreted when you pray, when you do your daily gratitude, when you say thank you to yourself, and when you self-appreciate yourself. Right now, when you say, oh, thank you, Sugan, or whatever, if you want to, say, include your name, or say, thank you, my heart, for beating so constantly and effortlessly. I really love you. You do that, serotonin has been secreted in your mind right now, which will increase your self-esteem. So in these ways, confidence can be built within yourself, and that can be, that can start a chain reaction to others as well. So what are you appreciative of yourself today? Do you want to say, I'm grateful for my body, listening with all of your heart, I'm thankful to be a teacher? What are you grateful for today? So with that note, I conclude saying our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji recently said in his Teachers' Day speech, शिक्षक और बच्चों के बीच प्रोफेशनल रिश्ता नहीं होता, बल्कि एक पारिवारिक रिश्ता होता है, और ये संबंध पूरे जीवन का होता है. We are a young nation demographically. Today's classroom must prepare students for career and challenges that don't yet exist. There is only one interface between the nation and its youth, and it is you. So the teachers and educators. And you should be emotionally and cognitively equipped to prepare India to meet its future. I hope the time you invested in me was useful, and I say thank you and pay gratitude to all of you for this opportunity. Thank you. Major Sir, this is back to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Suganya ma'am. Thank you for touching the emotional intelligence, decision making, confidence building, and you brought it very interesting way. It was something very nice which we have taken on, and I'm going to say all the aspects we have taken, they are so meaningful, and certain points which we have taken, we may we may have separate webinars on them later on. Like there was a beautiful quote you have written over there. I am impactful. So it could be recoined somewhere. We can use a webinar. Am I impactful? So I was just thinking in my mind to have one webinar on that. Or maybe if I'm a little bit more positive, I can say be impactful. That means as a teacher, how you can be impactful. And particularly when you talked about the last bench, your mathematics and other areas, and how you moved on and how the teacher built your confidence, that was something very amazing. And the 5 senses also which you gave, that was very interesting. And then 2 more points which you have given: emotional intelligence and decision making, and emotional intelligence and confidence, both were wonderful. Now, one of the most important skill on this planet, ladies and gentlemen, that is your communication skill. And communication, what exactly is communication? Communication is connecting. That means connecting heart to heart, connecting soul to soul, connecting mind to mind, connecting through the feelings. And also, Suganya ma'am touched over here emotional part. So emotions play a very important role when you're talking about emotional intelligence. And I personally feel today, wherever you want to be successful in life, if you carry good communication skills, if you speak well, if you can communicate what you want to say to the right audience at the right time, in the right proportion, in the right frequency, with the right tone, with the right pitch, with the right volume, and with the right emotions. Once again, the concept of emotional intelligence will come over there, and it will touch, because communication skill is one of the most important skill. Our second speaker is trying. She is going to get back soon. She is having challenges with the connectivity, and she did write 2-3 times that she's having a difficulty with the connectivity. But I consoled her because I got to give her calmness, and I have to tell her nothing to worry. Even if the session prolongs, we will go ahead. You will get your time. We will do the justice with your topic as long as we get back to the connectivity. Suganya ma'am, if you have her number, you can make a call to her. You can just check up with her if you can get connected to her, and we can just check up. If she can get connected, that would really be meaningful. Just try it out. Meanwhile, I will talk to my audience world over. They all are with me. You get connected to our second speaker of the evening, our Purnima ma'am. You just try and reach her. So, one of the highest paid speaker world over, that is, if you know, you can watch him. You can see him on the different programs. Jim Rohn, he's no more. But Jim Rohn videos are so popular. And at present, the living legend, Jim Rohn's student, that is Anthony Robbins. Anthony Robbins is once again a very good speaker, very powerful speaker. And he always uses the words like unleash yourself, unlock your potential, try and take out your potential, do the best whatever you can. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you communicate, today I would wish to tell you, by the time the second speaker, she comes back, I wish to tell all of you, even if you're talking casually with somebody on phone, on mobile phone, put your entire emotions in that. Put your entire energy into that. Get connected with the other person. Make other person feel you value that call. You value that communication. You value that conversation, because communication is one thing, connecting is very important. So when you talk on the wavelength, when the teachers are getting connected to the students, teacher got they got to come back. They got to come back to the frequency of their students, and they got to understand what language, what verbal communication, what visual communication, laughter, happiness, singing, music, humor, fun, and one very important skill which we all have got in communication, that is called storytelling. Storytelling in education is very important. We all should realize. And I enjoy our speakers, our worthy speakers, our distinguished speaker, and we always convey gratitude every evening when we are having a program, because there's so much of wisdom coming. There's so much of knowledge coming. There's so much of information coming. Now that information, through various modes of communication, is getting converted into connecting. That is something very important which we all have to understand. By the time our other speaker comes and Suganya ma'am tries for her, let me just convey deep thanks to Sakshi, Ajay Kundal, Mamta Chauhan, Thota, Yoga Lakshmi, Mahindran ma'am, Indu ma'am. Then we have got Pon Velu Swami ma'am, and then we have got Manisha Chaturvedi ma'am. We have got Rosie Chakma from Tripura. We have got Yanger Yapto. Hearty welcome. Pleasure to have you with us. Gohin, hearty welcome. Babu Moshai from Kolkata. Anand Mukherjee, thank you. Then we have got Ajay Kundalji, thank you. Vipulji, thank you. We also have with us over here, let me just read out because lots of comments are coming from world over. Let me just say who are the other people, those are posting views over here. Avantika ma'am, hearty welcome, thank you. And then of course, Sakshiji, you are putting in lots of, I'm learning a lot of English every day because you're conveying so much, you're communicating so much. Sakshi is writing, emotional awareness is necessary so you can properly convey your thoughts and feelings to other person. Effective communication is 20% what you know, and 80% is how you feel about what you know. That is something very important, so valuable. Julie Subba ma'am from Manipur, thank you very much. All the distinguished guests, those are joining over here, let me just try out once with the speaker. If we can reach her, if we can get across to her, let me just try it out once. Let me just try out. I'm just trying to reach out our another speaker, Purnima Sunkara ma'am. Purnima ma'am, are you trying to log in, ma'am?
The thing has completely gone, sir. When broadband is fully on red light, I don't think I will be able to go through the meeting even for 4 minutes.
No worries, ma'am. We will have a separate program for you, exclusively your show. So, ladies and gentlemen, Purnima Sunkara ma'am, we contacted, but she says she will come. because at present she is unable to join. We will get her later some other day with us. I convey my deep thanks to her, and we will get her in future sometime. So with these words, we convey our deep gratitudes and thanks to Suganya Asokan ma'am. Thank you very much. And lots of blessings to your two kids and your 5-year-old. Let him draw all, let him paint the entire wall, whatsoever he wants. Let him draw, and let him change the color and let him change the texture of all the walls in home. No problems. Let him enjoy, because this time will not come back for him. So that is the way, ladies and gentlemen. It was wonderful to have Madam today with us on emotional intelligence, decision making, and confidence building. Look forward to another webinar some other day. And our deep gratitudes and thanks to Colonel Casey Manon and to Madam Suganya Asokanji. Signing off today. Tomorrow is Saturday. Don't forget, tomorrow 7 p.m. you've got a special program, Ayurveda for the Global Wellness, and 8 p.m. we will be taking you to northeast part of India.